Today we are going to play around, explore, and experiment with the program called Photopea.com. And Photopea or Photopea is very similar to the very expensive Adobe Photoshop. But Photopea is free. There's some drawbacks to it, but we're going to start exploring it. So the first thing you need to do is open either a new tab or a new window, and in the browser, type in photopea.com. Photopea.com. Enter. If you get this big X when you first come, that's totally fine. It means it's the first time you're ever using it. So click the X, boop, and it opens things up a lot. Now, because we're using a free program, there are ads on the side. If it bothers you, you can X them out, but they will reappear eventually. And here we go. We're going to create a new project. So if you look in the black and the gray screen, not my purple, black and gray, you'll see in the top left-hand-ish corner the word File. So go to File, and when you click it, the first thing in the white drop-down says New. Click New. We're going to do a new project. Oh my goodness, there's all these images. Just ignore those. And up in the left-hand corner again-ish, where it says New Project, we are going to make a couple changes just in this upper left-hand corner. So I like to name it. You can name it whatever you want. So this is my Altieri landscape. And right below where I'm typing the name, it says pixels. And there's an upside down triangle. Click that and change it to inches. Boop. And now it says it's 17 by 10 inches. You could leave that. Sometimes, honestly, I get a little crazy and I change it to 18 by 12. But 17 by 10 is fine. DPI, dots per inch. 72 is okay for the internet. If you're ever printing something out, you might want to go much, much, much higher. But for this project, we're going to keep it at 72 DPI. Keep the background white and just click Create. And there you have a canvas on your screen that's white. Now we are going to be using layers, and layers are the basis for any graphic art, whether you're using Photoshop or Procreate, Maya, whether you are a beginning artist or an animator at Pixar, layers, layers, layers is what really makes you an advanced graphic designer. And there's a lot of places where you can find layers, but I am going to flip all the way down to the lower right-hand corner. And right above the purple, I'm kind of trying to highlight it with my mouse, which might be hard to see. There is what looks like a trash can. Oh, delete. No, we don't want that. Right next to the trash can is a square that looks like it has a folded corner. And when you hover over it, it says New Layer. Click that. Artists, when they create graphic art, have anywhere from 10 to 100 or more layers. We are going to be working with a lot of layers. And as you play around with this, you'll start to understand why. So when I clicked it, above, a new layer appeared. So it says background. Leave your background alone. But where it says layer 1, you can hover over the text. Like my mouse is literally over the L, the A, the Y. Double click it and name your layers. This is a very strange habit to get into, new layers, naming layers. But if you can establish that habit now, it will help you so much. So lower right-hand corner, look for the box with the fold, click it. Above, a new layer will appear. Double click right on the text and change the name. This is going to be Mountain 1 for me. You could put MT1, Mountain 1, type in your name, click Enter. And now we're going to draw a mountain. Of course, with your art, you can draw anything you want, but we're going to draw a mountain. And to start drawing, we're going to go back over to the left-hand side. I'm going left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand. And we're going to look for something called the Lasso Tool. And on the left-hand side here, there's a toolbar. So not only do we have all of these options above that you're used to from many other programs, but now we have a toolbar. And even though that looks like a lot of tools, and maybe yours on a Chromebook is a little bit smaller, they're more condensed or doubled up, there's even more tools here. So you might have to go down a little bit. My lasso tool is the third one down. But if you don't see your lasso tool, you might have to click and hold it. And you'll see within each tool, there are more tools underneath. So if your lasso tool isn't there, start going through your tools, click and hold, and look for them. Click and hold, look for them, click and hold. Mine is the third one down, select lasso tool. That's a little tricky, so I'll show you again. I'm on the left-hand side. There's a toolbar, and mine was the third one down. Click and hold lasso. Select is my lasso tool. So lasso select. Click that. Feel free to pause the video at any point, rewind, go back and forth. Now this is tricky when you have your lasso. A lasso has to go back and reattach. So I'm going to start on the left-hand side of my canvas. So I'm in the black part. And this is really hard to do because I'm going to click and hold. When I'm using a trackpad on my Chromebook, I use 2 fingers, which I can't show you here, but I click and hold my trackpad down with my left finger, and with my right index finger, I draw, but I have to click and hold the whole time. This is hard to do. You're probably going to goof it up 3 or 4 times, and that's totally normal. So don't worry. I'll show you what to do. So we're going to click and hold. I'll do it right the first time, but then I'll show you what to do if you make a mistake. So click and hold on the left-hand side. I'm kind of towards the bottom. And we're going to draw some mountains across the screen. So I'm still holding down while I'm drawing. I'm not letting go. And I'm being really, really, really detailed. I got some valleys, got some little bumps, maybe some nice smooth parts, maybe some rocky, jagged cliffs. So I'm really adding a lot of detail, but I'm not letting go. I'm going all the way across my canvas, and I'm still not letting go. Still not letting go. Still not letting go. Details. And I'm actually off the right-hand side in the black now, and I'm still not going to let go. I'm going to drop down in the black to the bottom right-hand side. I'm still holding on, going all the way across. Don't let go. Don't let go. Your finger's probably hurting right now. All the way down to the left-hand side, and I have to go back and reconnect. I made a giant lasso, and I reconnect, and if you did it right, your lasso should blink. Now, if you did it wrong, if your finger came off, it's the first time you're doing it, it was weird, you don't love it, one of my favorite things is up here where it says edit. You go to edit, step backwards is the third one down. A lot of people are inclined to click undo. Don't click undo, click step backward, because you can go backward as many times as you want. Undo, you can only undo it once. So step backward, you could go back 5 or 6 times. So here we go, step backwards. Boop. And we can redo it, do it again. So I'm going to make my first layer of mountains down towards the bottom. So I'm going to line up my mouse on the black part of the canvas, and very carefully I'm going to hold it down, and I'm not going to let go till the very end, creating lots and lots of detail all the way across the entire canvas. Drop down, drop all the way around, and reconnect. So I'm off the canvas for most of it, and then it flashes. So I'm in that mountain layer 1, and I'm using the lasso tool. Now I want to add some color. This is very exciting. So we are going to choose our colors. So on the bottom of your toolbar, or maybe even on the top, sometimes on smaller devices like Chromebooks, your colors might be on the top. Mine are on the bottom. Mine are red and black right now, but you're looking for squares of color. Click the top one, the one towards the left, double click it, and you're going to pick your colors. So you could have purple mountains, blue mountains, green mountains, blue-green mountains, red mountains, any colors you want. I'm going to do maybe like a blue-green. And I'm moving the rainbow in the middle. I don't know if you see that, but there's this vertical rainbow, and I'm moving it around to choose my colors, kind of going up and down, up and down, up and down. But that's not all, folks. Once I go up and down, up and down, up and down, this color picker on the left-hand side, this gradient square, this ombre square, you get to pick the value, the lightness or darkness of your color. And I want you to go pretty dark in the beginning. So I'm going to click down here in the lower right-hand corner. I'm getting this nice dark teal. I'm going to click OK. And now I want to get it inside my lasso. But wait a minute, like nothing's happening. I have to find a paint bucket, and I don't see a paint bucket. So look through your tools. Maybe your paint bucket is there. But remember how I said there's tools within tools? In the middle, you might see this beautiful gradient, which we'll use later. It's a square, it's a rectangle that goes from light to dark. If you click and hold that, there's a paint bucket. So I have to click, which is so hard, go to the right and click the paint bucket. And now I have my paint bucket tool selected. I have my green selected. And if I click inside my lasso tool, now that I have this paint bucket kind of highlighted with the dark color, it should put that dark green inside my lasso. Let's see. Yes, nice. So I have this lasso tool with this dark green, but I also have this weird dotted line. I don't like that. I want it to go away. So honestly, I use my keyboard a lot when I'm using Photoshop or Photopea or Photopea. I'm going to hit Control and D at the same time, D as in dog. So hit the Control key, the lower left hand, or honestly right, it's under the Shift. Control D stands for deselect, and it takes the lasso tool away. Yay! We have ground. But that's not all. We're going to do it again and again and again and again. So here we go. Back to the beginning. Go to a new layer, lower right-hand corner. Looks like a square with a fold. Not the trash can. Don't do that. New layer. Click it. Whoa. Now I got background, mountain 1, layer 1. Double click on the layer 1 text to change the name. I'm going to write mountain 2 or MT2. Enter. And I'm going to do it again. So I'm going to go back to the left-hand side now. Find my lasso tool. I'm going to start a little higher this time. Make some more mountains. And I'm not letting go. Super duper awkward. I'm not letting go. Not letting go. Whoa, they overlap a little. Cool. Oh, I'm off the canvas. Drop down. Don't let go. Go all the way across the bottom. Go back up. Reconnect. Fabulous. Let's add some color to it again. But I don't want to add the same color because it'll be hard to see. So I'm going to double click on my color picker. So I have dark teal. You probably have a different color. Double click on your color picker. And now I want to keep that same family of colors. So if you're using purple, use more purple. If you're using blue, use more blue. I'm using teal. So I'm going to click a slightly lighter version. So I'm kind of going up in a diagonal. Slightly lighter. Okay. Click OK. And now I have to put it inside. I'm like, wait, I can't. I got this little cross. So you got to change it to the paint bucket tool. Where's that paint bucket? There it is. Click inside your lasso. And now you have this really nice light green. Remember, we don't like that dotted line. So click Control and D to deselect. But hey, it just covered up my first beautiful layer. I don't like that. And this is why we do layers, because you can work with individual layers and you can move them around. So I'm going to go back over to where my layers are. That's the box that says background, mountain 1, mountain 2. I'm going to take mountain 1 layer, click it, hold it, and you can actually move it up. And you can switch the order of the layers. You can even play with individual layers, and we'll get more into that later, but you can move individual layers around if you want, which is really, really cool. So we are playing around with our layers, and this is one of the coolest things because it allows you to go back and make subtle changes all the time. We're going to keep doing this more and more and more. New layer, double click it, mountain 3. I want you to have like 5 layers of mountains. Maybe now you know, like, let's move it down now. So I'm at 3, 2, 1. You're going to get your lasso tool. I'm going really fast. So you can ignore me and go at your own pace or pause it. Make your mountains or hills, drop down all the way around, lasso it up, double click your colors, make it lighter, okay, and use your paint bucket to fill it in. Control D deselects. Now here's the yes share. We're using a free program. Yes, you can log in and do an account, but I don't even want to do that. So we have some issues with saving. So in order to save, we actually have to save it and publish it online to a private URL. So to save it, we're going to have to do a couple things. So watch this closely and please go back, rewind, rewatch this like a gazillion times. So we're going to go to File, and we're actually going to go to the fifth thing down that says Publish Online. Like, right? You would think Save, but no, we're going to Publish Online. So you go to Publish Online, and now you have three options. We're going to go to the third one down, PSD. So I went to File, Publish Online, PSD. Click that. A pop-up appears, a box that says, your picture will be published under a public URL that's known only to you. Proceed, yes or no. Click OK. And let's see what happens. Okay, mine did publish online. Most of the time when I do that, nothing happens. And I'm like, oh, did I save it? Did I not save it? I wish it didn't save, because what happens on the school issue Chromebooks is when you click File, Publish Online, PSD, it doesn't do anything. But if you look in the upper right hand corner, there is a little tiny pop-up blocked icon, and I'll show you what it looks like on here. So this is the pop-up block icon. So it's teeny tiny here. It looks like a little square with a little red square on top. So it's a gray square with a red square on top. So you're going to look for that icon. It's up here, usually next to your star in your toolbar. You double click it, and you want to change it to always allow pop-ups from photopea.com. So you're going to actually allow the pop-up. So the first time you do this, it's really annoying, but we're going to need to allow pop-ups from Photopea, and the default on a Chromebook is no pop-ups. But we want to allow it from this website because the pop-up actually opens a new tab to save it. So go ahead, double-click that little gray square with the red on it, change it to allow pop-ups, done, and then you have to go back and do it again. So File, Publish Online, PSD, and then you should be able to hit OK, and a new tab should open now. So make sure you go back and rewatch that. And here's the problem. It's saved, but it saved it as a new URL. So if you look up here, I have photopea.com / this crazy code. I don't know about you, but I'm not going to remember that crazy code, and I don't feel like typing it in. So what we're going to have to do from here on out is we're going to have to copy and paste our special URL every single time. So I'm going to copy this. And to make it a little bit easier for you, I've created a spreadsheet for you. If that doesn't work, maybe you have another system you can use, but I think it's easiest just to go to your tab with Google Classroom, find the assignment. It's probably not an upcoming. If you don't see it in upcoming, you can go to classwork. The view your work for you is where it says create on mine, or you can go to computer digital art, final assignment. And when you view the assignment, I have this attachment. I have 3 attachments. I have the video, I have the slideshow. Shout out to my awesome art teacher friend who made the video. Love it. This is not my original lesson. And I am going to open up the attachment that says Computer Art Landscape. And when I do that, I can copy and paste the URL here. And notice there's a couple. I love the back button. Notice there's a couple spots because we'll do this every day that we work. Sometimes I even do it 2 times per period. So go ahead and copy and paste your URL. And I'm playing with my document right now, and I shouldn't, into this document. Again, you're like, where the heck did she just do that? I have multiple tabs open. I went to Google Classroom. I found the assignment. And in the assignment, there's this Computer Art Landscape Google slide that actually looks like a doc. So go ahead, find that, copy and paste your URL here. I write the date, so I just know which one's the most recent one. And that will allow you next time to just go there, open this doc, open it up, and it'll take you right to your work. That's unfortunate. It's a pain in the neck, but Photoshop is very, very expensive. We don't yet have copies for everybody at the middle school, we do at the high school, but this allows us to use Photoshop for free, just with a bunch of extra annoying steps. So I'm sorry about that, but the good news is when you get to the high school, it will be a lot easier. So I'm going to stop there for today. I hope this helps. Please pause, go back and forth, rewatch this as many times as you need to, or you can listen to it on another device while you're working. Take your time and know that I took at least 3 classes in college learning this, and I still have not mastered everything. It takes time, it takes mistakes. You have to be willing to make mistakes, and don't be afraid to use the edit, step backward, and play and start over, whatever you have to do. It's completely normal. This is like the 27th time I've done this individual project, so that's why I'm getting a little better at it. But it's like anything else. The more you do it, the better you get, and you need to embrace your mistakes. Awesome job, artists. Can't wait to see where this takes you. Have fun.